Hey, fans and friends, Corinne here again. I know it hasn't been a week, but I'm just spending a lazy Sunday at home with my kids, my last one of spring break, and Facebook memory came up this morning that made me want to come talk to you guys today. So this morning, this came up on my Facebook memories. It says, the feeling you get after spending all day pouring your heart out on the page, and you go back and reread just to realize that you are swooning over your own characters. Today was a good day. And even if no one else ever feels for them what I do, today I got to fall in love for the first time all over again. So I felt compelled to come on and talk to you guys a little bit more in depth about Damsel. I'm super excited. It was a turning point for me. It was a cathartic experience for me to write all three novels. Like I said in my first video, I didn't know it was going to be three when I started, but I'm so glad it turned into that. And it was a great experience. And I am in love with my characters, and I just want other people to love them too. As I mentioned earlier, Damsel follows Trisha Leone. She's a 35-year-old photographer that has kind of sworn off relationships. She's been burned before and just doesn't want to go through that anymore. And she's kind of closed off her heart and just kind of is interested in the physical side of things. And she meets a younger man named Logan who kind of changes her mind about that eventually. And throughout the series, their relationship blossoms and changes and leads her to the great love of her life. So I've had lots of people ask me if the characters and the setting and things like that are based on real life, if it's all fiction, and I can tell you it's kind of a combination of the two. Trisha is based a lot on me. She's also got a lot of characteristics that are apparent in my sisters that I wish I had, things that my friends have that I wish I had. She's kind of like my perfect version of me in my head, I suppose, with some of the same insecurities, unfortunately. So a lot of Trisha's backstory, a lot of the dynamics of her really are based in real life. There are actual moments and things that happen throughout the series that those of you that know me in my personal life will tell you are exact from my real life. But conversely, there are also a lot of fictional moments. There's a lot that came just from up here, either the way I wished things had gone or the way that things should have gone, or just the way I saw them in my head going and how that needed to happen to really get my story out. So I think going forward, any other projects I work on are going to be a combination of that as well. It's going to be a combo of real life and fiction. And I would venture to say that most authors probably do that. They probably take some things from their real life just because that's what you know, that's what you can write from, that's what you feel, and that's just the easiest way to do it, at least for me. I mean, I won't speak for other authors. I can only imagine that that's the case. I mean, obviously, I can't imagine that J.K. Rowling lived with magic, obviously, because it's not real, but I wonder sometimes if there are aspects of Harry and Ron and Hermione and any of the other characters that are based on her or her people in her life. So, just interesting little tidbits. So, without further ado, I am going to read an excerpt from the first one, Damsel in Defense. That's volume 1. This is from the very first chapter. I'm going to skip around a little bit. I'm super nervous because though I put it all out here for the world to read, actually saying the words out loud is kind of nerve-wracking for me. So be kind. And without further ado, here we go. I don't know how in the hell I let you talk me into this. Couldn't we have at least stopped for cocktails before? I'm being dragged from the parking lot to the front of the brightly lit dojang by my favorite person in the world. May squeezes tighter around my wrist. Come on, Tish, it'll be fun. We already kick ass, and now we'll learn how to do it for real. Cocktails after, I promise. All right, I sigh and roll my eyes. Besides, she leans in as I walk through the front door she's holding open. One of the instructors is cute. Ugh, here we go again. I know her intentions are good. She wants me to have the American dream life she has. May met Brian doing community theater after college. They played the leading roles in The Heart of Robin Hood. May likes to think that was our mom intervening from heaven to bring her happiness. That would be our mother. I roll my eyes again. I'm perfectly happy living the solo life, thank you. I can spoil my niece and nephew all I want, and I still get to jet all over the world whenever I want. I've been to the dojang before when my nephew Devin earned his black belt a few months ago, and I don't recall seeing any instructors worth remembering. Hi, welcome to Inne Academy. Oh, Mrs. Jackson, I didn't see you there. Are you ready for your first Damsel in Defense class, ma'am? Hey, Logan. I told you, please call me Marion. I am so ready. This is going to be fun. I hope your father is giving you the credit you deserve for thinking of putting together a class like this. I've got half the moms from the kids' classes coming tonight, and neighbors too. This is my sister, Patricia. May pulls me closer to the front desk, and I am face to face with the most exotic-looking and handsome man I've ever seen. His smooth, almost caramel-colored skin and chiseled features remind me of the models I see through my camera lens. I stare for what feels like too long at a boy probably half my age, and I stammer, it's Trisha. Nice to meet you. Our eyes meet for an instant, and I look away, feeling my cheeks flush. How is this boy having such an effect on me? Not my usual in total control persona when I'm around the opposite sex. Logan walks around from behind the desk, and I am able to take in his frame. He's taller than me, but not by much. He wears his jet black hair slightly shaggy, and he runs his fingers through it as he approaches me. He takes my outstretched hand, shaking it. His hand is strong, and there's an electricity about his skin on mine. I imagine for an instant all the other places I'd like to feel that electricity. Welcome, Trisha. Glad you could join us. Please, come in, grab a locker, and we'll start in about 15 minutes. Feel free to pick a spot and start stretching, ma'am. May and I choose lockers next to each other and deposit our sneakers and purses inside. As we walk across the main floor of the dojang to an open spot, May stops to chat with some of the moms from my niece and nephew's school. It gives me a few moments to steal a good look at Logan. He's at the front of the dojang talking with his father. Master Cho, the owner of the academy, looks around at the turnout and looks very pleased with his son. Logan bows to his father, and the focus and sharpness in his body are impressive. The muscles in his arms and back are defined, but not huge like a bodybuilder. The white tank top he wears hugs the outline of a perfect six-pack. His black dobok pants are loose but still reveal enough to see how in shape this boy really is. Logan's father bows back and then grabs his son for a big bear hug, the respect and adoration apparent on both their faces. It's a tender moment, and all at once, I feel like an intruder. My mind suddenly wanders to my last day with my mom. Through all of her treatments, losing her hair, fluctuations in weight from all the medications, everything she went through, Maggie Leone remained the most beautiful, graceful woman I have ever seen. I can still remember how the tiger lilies my dad planted for her in the garden smelled on that last day. We were on the deck, Mom, Dad, May, and I, Daisy, our mutt, curled up at Mom's feet. We sat around the table reminiscing about family camping trips and old neighbors. It was the first time in months that we were all together. May and I, away at NYU, were finally able to make it home for spring break. After months of not seeing our mother, we were in shock to see how small she looked. Dad hadn't let us know it was this bad. Perhaps he didn't want to worry us during midterms, or maybe, like us, he never believed in a million years that something as common and unglamorous as cancer could take her. Early evening, May and Dad took Daisy out for a walk around the neighborhood. Mom and I were still sitting on the deck, and I was stoking the fire pit. Patricia, come sit for a minute, sweetie. I know how chilly you get when the sun goes down, Mom. Let me take care of this, and I'll be right there. I tended the fire, then sat on the edge of her chaise, pulling the blanket down over her bare feet. Patricia, she put her hand on my knee. I want you to know how proud of you I am. I roll my eyes, a habit I seem to have not outgrown, but smiled. I know, Mom, and I'm proud to be your daughter. I love you. She pulled me in for a weak but warm embrace, the last one we would ever share. She passed in her sleep later during the night, a peaceful smile on her lips. All right, ladies, we're going to get started. Master Cho's jovial voice interrupts my memory. First, thank you all for coming. I'd like to say a special thank you to my son Logan for coming up with such a wonderful idea. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Marion Jackson for her help in promoting this series of classes to the community. We have a pretty large group tonight and only expect to grow over time. With that being said, we'll be breaking up into smaller groups. Based on tonight's numbers, we will work in 3 groups. You ladies right here in the front will work with Joshua. Ladies by the lockers will be working with Logan. Ladies in the middle will work with Dennis. Tonight we will show you some basic self-defense techniques and walk through some real-life scenarios. Although you will learn many of the basics tonight, we hope that you will join us every Wednesday for the next 6 weeks to take advantage of the whole series of classes. I hope all of you will walk away from your time here feeling empowered and more confident in taking control of a situation. I try unsuccessfully to stifle the giggle in my throat, if he only knew. May smacks my arm. Shh! This is serious, she chastises me. Sorry. I follow her over to Dennis, our instructor for the evening. He's a nice enough looking man, nothing to write home about, but handsome, I suppose. He's got his arm around his wife, Jane. Dennis and Jane live on the same street as May and Brian. Their son Trevor and Devin are great friends, so naturally I've met them before. Dennis, Jane, nice to see you again. It's been a while. How are Trevor and Sam? I ask. Keeping us on our toes as always. Jane smiles as she hugs me. Trisha, glad you decided to come. Your sister got us quite a turnout. I keep trying to talk her into being our marketing person, but she just won't do it. Dennis punches May's arm, and the two joke about how becoming their marketing person would take away from her margaritas and karaoke nights with Jane and us girls. I smile and pretend to listen, but find myself wishing I'd been standing closer to the lockers. Dennis begins class, and much to my surprise, I actually enjoy it. I usually despise any kind of structured exercise and will do whatever I can to avoid it. I don't know if it's the intermittent daydreams of Logan or the similarity to my personal life, but I find myself having a really good time. Learning new ways to dominate might have its advantages. Oh, Trisha, nice job! Dennis slams to the mat. You sure you haven't taken classes before? I'm astride him on the mat after flipping him off my back in a move I think I remember seeing at a high school wrestling tournament. I look down at him and realize that, while I have zero attraction to this man, I find myself suddenly slightly aroused. I guess I'm just a natural, I giggle sarcastically as I stand up and offer him my hand. As I walk back to my spot, I catch a glimpse of Logan with a timid-looking soccer mom on all fours, about to begin the drill I just mastered. I don't know why this didn't dawn on me until now, how much I would enjoy this class. Up close and personal with no attachment, me taking the upper hand, this class screams Trisha. I watch Logan take soccer mom down. He looks slightly disappointed. Something deep in my belly tingles and a low sigh escapes from my throat. Oh, Logan, I would not have disappointed. I close my eyes and blush at the vision. Black lace, a sultry male voice singing about inertia creeping up slowly. Logan squirming underneath me, his wrists and ankles bound to the posts of my bed with my favorite red satin scarves. A sly smile spreads across my lips as I open my eyes to his gaze. I feel the deepest parts of me start to warm. His obsidian eyes have an innocence that makes me burn even hotter. Oh, honey, the things I could show you. That's all for now. You will have to pick up Damsel yourself if you want to know more about Trisha and Logan and where their relationship goes. So, in reading that, I wanted to also start my tribute to being 40. So, my first part of being 40 is you still have the same insecurities you had in elementary school and in middle school and in high school. Some of them never go away, and that was one of them. Reading, performing, doing all that stuff in front of people, I have always had a fear of. I've always worried about being laughed at or made fun of or whatever. So the fact that those insecurities have not gone away even in 30 some odd years is kind of a big fuck you 40. However, on the flip side, now that I am 40, I am aware of the fact that I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay because I like who I am and the people around me like who I am, and if you don't, change the channel. So that's my fuck yeah 40. Don't forget, look me up on Facebook at Corinne Lambert Author, also Instagram and Pinterest, Corinne Lambert Author. Shoot me an email if you'd like at corinnelambertauthor@gmail.com and tell me what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. Do you want to hear more excerpts from Damsel or any of the other books? I'd be happy to read. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Love ya.